questions. Questions orales. The honourable member for Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, and Rideau Lakes.
After 8 years of this NDP Liberal government, their ArriveSCAM app that was supposed to cost $80,000 cost Canadians $60 million. And just like this, NDP Liberal Prime Minister is not worth the cost or the corruption. GC Strategies, the two-person team who was working out of their basement, got paid $20 million and did no IT work, but they did take senior Liberal officials out for whiskey tastings and fine dinners. Not worth the cost and not worth the corruption. So will this NDP Liberal Prime Minister join common sense Conservatives as we call for the RCMP to expand the investigation into this Liberal scandal?
L'honorable ministre des Services publics et de l'approvisionnement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Very pleased to answer this question, which we have heard before and to which we have provided appropriate answers already. Pleased to remind everyone that the Auditor General had not only the job, but the very important job of tabling a report on Monday, which we are looked at and obviously already troubled about the findings that there are in that report. And we have taken into account all the recommendations that are in the report, and many of them have been put into place already for some time.
The honourable member for Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, and Rideau Lakes.
Speaker, the minister says the auditor had an important job, but that minister and all of these Liberals voted against the auditor conducting the audit. It was because of the Leader of the Opposition moving a motion in November of 2022 that we had that Auditor General investigation. And just like that was the right thing to do then, calling in the RCMP is the right thing to do now. This is an $80,000 app that ballooned to $60 million. We have a two-person firm working out of their basement being paid $20 million and whining and dining senior Liberal officials. Will these Liberals end the cover-up and join Conservatives in calling for an expanded RCMP investigation?
L'honorable ministre.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And the member is completely right in pointing to the important work of the Auditor General. She did work very hard over the last few months, and that's what we expected of her and her office. She tabled an important report on Monday. As she has said repeatedly, she's also completely willing and able to work with all other partners and institutions across the government, including with the RCMP, with which she is already in touch.
The honourable for Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, and Rideau Lakes.
Well, of course, the Auditor General is willing and able to do her work, but the problem is this government refuses to give her the documents that she needs to fully account for the $60 million that was spent on this boondoggle. These Liberals have in the past used the executive to shield themselves from investigation by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police like they did in the SNC-Lavalin scandal. So this time Canadians want to know who got rich, other than, of course, these two guys working out of their basement who took Liberal bosses out for fine dinners and whiskey tastings. Will these Liberals join our calls to call in the RCMP and investigate this scandal?
L'honorable ministre.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and we are very pleased, obviously, to hear the member clearly state that he has full confidence in the ability of the Auditor General to keep doing her job, including supporting the RCMP when that is demanded by the RCMP.
There's other members that are asking questions or making comments. I would ask them to please hold off and allow the honourable member to administer, or whoever's answering or asking questions to be uninterrupted. L'honorable député de Mégantic-l'Érable.
The honourable member for Mégantic-l'Érable. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister is ultimately responsible for ArriveCan, which was supposed to cost $80,000 and ended up costing 750 times more. This is the scandal of the century. The Prime Minister gave $250 million to a company of two people working out of a basement in a cottage. It's the tip of the iceberg of wasting public funds, according to La Presse. Madam Speaker, after 8 years, who in this government is finally going to stand up to the Prime Minister and tell him he's not worth the cost or the corruption?